And we are live. What's up, guys? As promised, this is day one of the official preparation for the evaluation demonstration. This is a demo account. It is 9:31. We're about to start trading the NASDAQ futures market to try to squeeze some profits out. Our main profit target is 52,500. And the most that we can be on drawdown is 48,000. So $2,000 drawdown to start with. So let's get started, shall we? I'll be using 4 windows, but I have multiple charts on each, and we'll be dissecting what's going on with rectangles and lines to figure out what's the best course of action. But also, I do have outlined certain rules that I want to follow during this evaluation preparation. So let's go over them real quick. Number 1, trade from 9:30 to 12. I found out that these are my most profitable times. And also I don't have that much of an attention span or concentration time. So this is about as good as it gets for me. 2 hours and a half is plenty. Limit to 10 trades per session. So even, my profit is 350 or drawdown of 250. That's rule number 3. But if I haven't reached my profit or my drawdown targets, 10 trades is the maximum I will take. So after 10 trades, I will end the session no matter where I am here. So we already mentioned rule number 3. Rule number 4, take 50 profits. That's not 50, it's 15. I don't know why it did that, but 15 points profit max. So if I'm in a longer trade, I'm going to be scalping for the most part because I'm a newbie. I don't know how to swing trade yet. And not that I know how to scalp yet. I'm learning because I'm a rookie at this. So 15 points is my max profit. If I am if I'm in a long trade and I see 15 profits reach 15 points, I will end the position. I will terminate the position and take 15 points max. Risk 10 points maximum on each trade. I should have put that. So no more risk than 10 points. Number 6, pay attention to trailing drawdown. So on the actual evaluation, there is what is called a trailing drawdown. And if you don't know what that is, I went over it on my first video, or the video that I just posted explaining this whole evaluation thing. So we will be watching the trailing drawdown, even though we're not gonna put it into account for this specific preparation for the evaluation. If we hit our trailing drawdown, we're still gonna be trading and going on with the preparation, but we're going to pay attention to it so that we know what we're doing on the evaluation itself, which I'll be probably posting somewhere around middle of March when I'm available to take the actual evaluation from Tradeday, the $50,000 evaluation. Number 7, pay attention to emotions. I get emotional and start making dumb moves. So we're not going to let that happen. That's one of my rules. Number 8, journal every trade. That's just good practice for every trader out there. Number 9, review every day after trading. So I'm going to journal the trades, and then later in the day, I'm going to review them to see what I could have done better. And number 10, have fun, of course, right? Like, what's the point of making millions of dollars if you're bored or you don't like what you're doing? So this is a very important rule for me to continue this for the long term. We're going to have bad days, we're going to have good days, but no matter what, we're going to enjoy what we do. And these 10 rules are more important for this particular preparation than actually making the money. So this is secondary. Bringing it to $2,500 in profit is less important than follow my 10 rules. So that's how it's gonna go. This is the 1-minute chart, which we'll be trading from, but we're actually gonna be paying attention to the longer time frames or bigger time frames. Oh, I didn't put the music on. Here's some music so you guys enjoy a little bit of background sound. So yeah, and give me a second, guys. I'll be right back. I'm going to see how this live stream is going just to make sure, because I'm new at this live stream stuff. So I'm going to check it out. I'll be right back. So yeah, everything seems to be going well. Put on my microphone. Everything seems to be going well, so let's get started. Let's get on with the trading part of this, which is probably the most important one. I did notice the music was a little bit soft, so what's been going on in the NASDAQ? It was going down for the past few days, and it's still going down, looks like. This is the 3-minute chart, and let's look at the 5-minute chart. There's some drawings I made to outline what was going on. Some zones I wanted to pay attention to. Yeah, we're still plummeting down. I drew these lines with some knowledge of what was going on over here or over here, but it looks like every one of my indicators, if you will, have been ran through. This is an interesting one where I drew this line because there was an interesting point. Price bounced back from that, went up, and then ran through it, trading lower, and that became kind of our cap for the upside, where price never really tapped into that line and hasn't traded any higher. Same thing over here, was going up, stayed well below that line. Now we're going into this area, which, if you can see, this area I would consider a demand zone, because that's when price traded upward from. We started being on this area, trade below it, but then once it stayed in the area consolidating, it finally went up from it. So that might be a good area to go long from to the upside. We don't really care that much what price is going to do on the long term on the 5-minute chart, because we'll be trading more of a scalping on the lower level. This is the volume indicator. So as you can see, this is where the day started. Now, I did mention my rules that I will be following, my 10 rules, but Tradeday's evaluation has its own separate rules, which I will be following when I take that particular evaluation. But for this preparation on the demo account, we're not going to be using those rules from Tradeday. We're going to be using the rules that I mentioned earlier, my 10 rules. So just keep that in mind, because my goal number one is to not break my rules so that I can become a more disciplined, better trader rather than be all over the place and not have structure and rules for my trading strategy, which is pretty much non-existent right now. So this is an interesting point right here. Might be a good point for us to take a short position from. Price hasn't really traded higher than that. So we'll be watching out for that. This is my chart where I trade from. As you can see, I have it set up for a bracket order of 5 points. And it turned out to be true. This was a good spot for price to start going down. We don't know if this will reverse, but yeah, looks like that would have been a good trade from this point, just because there was somewhat of a wall created from this, I guess from this imbalance maybe. There's not really much of an imbalance though. It's just this little area here, which caused price to be rejected for the upside and trading trading lower now. We would also consider this the bottom of our range, because price has not really traded below that for quite some time. So this could be actually a good spot for us. Price is actually not moving too crazily. 10 ATR points is a good volatility for me. I found that it's not too high or too low of a volatility, and that sometimes allows us to take quick 5-point moves where price doesn't get in our drawdown area for too long. So hopefully that's the case, and this stays relatively even throughout the trading session. Yeah, that would have been a really good trade. It's tough to trade and comment at the same time, as you might imagine. Trading is hard enough already, and then couple that with trying to keep the live chat or the live commentary alive. It's a daunting task, but if I can get good at that, then we can do this consistently. So I'm not going to take a trade yet because price might keep going down up to this line, and we don't want to get caught in a fake out, if you will, where we think it's going to go up but keeps going down here, or even lower than that line, because it looks like price wants to trade lower, unless this is a reversal. We did have a break of structure of this high with this candle. So this might be an area to look out for a bigger move up. Not that I will be doing that, but this seems like it could trade higher here, especially if price doesn't go lower than this particular candle here. So we're going to make this the bottom now. because it is very common that price does this and then higher. So if it's on the upside breaking structures, and this is the next structure to break, looks like this one might have been broken. Well, it was not a full break. Price didn't close a candle there. It's just the wicks. So we ran the high, this high, but we haven't break structure. So we might go back to test that area from here, unless price wants to keep going further down. So no one's watching. That's okay, because I'm new to this. And if there are going to be problems along the way, it's better that no one sees it. Full disclosure, I have started this live stream last week, but I could not figure out, how to live stream properly with the sound being well executed and everything. So I think I'm getting a little better and at least confident enough to keep this post up and keep the schedule for this evaluation preparation demonstration. Another note, again, I'm a rookie at trading, so this is not financial advice, and this demo account is not real money, it's paper money. But everything I've learned, not everything, I've been studying for a long time. I've always been interested in financial stuff, and I've read books and all that throughout 10 years. But trading, I've only started 8 months ago. And even though I've learned from some really good traders, one trader in particular who I learned a lot from, and I'm actually using that kind of strategy, is Dave Teaches on YouTube. He's the real deal. He's not only a profitable trader and a very savvy market mover, but he's also a really good teacher. So if you really want to get into this and learn from the best, I recommend you check him out. Dave Teaches. His videos are long and he's got a playlist, but you're sure to learn something if you stick with it. At least learn to dissect the charts and what's going on in the market. So that way we're not gambling, but we're actually taking disciplined, educated guesses. Yeah, so I drew this, I put this here thinking that price would go down here and I would have taken a long position. Never did. It never really even went to the 50% of that big candle. So now that we're trading higher, my opportunity is gone. At least for the moment, because there is definitely a wall here. Price has not traded higher than this for the last 15 minutes. 15 minutes, yeah. So this is definitely a high to watch for. See if we can break it. And if price gets rejected from here, that could mean that we're definitely going lower to break these lows here. Or it could mean that. Doesn't necessarily mean that hardcore. But since we're only going for 5 points, we're just looking for a quick move up, take our profits and get out with a bracket order. 5 points, take profit, 5 points, stop loss. And what, already 20 minutes passed on this live stream and it went by so quick. But I hope people tune in. If not today, later days, because I'll be doing this 4 times a week. Today's Tuesday, February 21, 2024, the year of the Lord. So I'll be trading Monday through Thursday, 9:30 to 12, live on YouTube. So catch me. If you didn't catch this one and you're watching it on a repeat, catch the next one. Okay, be there or be square. Price did want to go through that 50% of this candle at least, which was my original thought, that price would trade lower before heading higher. And we might have a reaction from this point to go up. We'll see. Right now, price definitely is getting rejected. Let's zoom in. The problem with zooming in is that sometimes we get too caught up in what's going on here and forget the bigger time frames and what's going on over there. Fortunately for me, I have a 5-minute chart on my other monitor, so I'm paying attention to what price is doing on the 5-minute chart. There's definitely a big point of support here. Okay, this is an interesting area now. Will price switch from here or will it trade lower? Let's see if we can get a full candle closure here or if it's just a wick. Each candle is 1 minute and I'm trying to see whether the minute closes below this point. Not yet. Still getting rejected. 10 seconds to go. The music you're listening to is supposed to be copyright free. So hopefully we don't get any strikes and this video gets demonetized. Not that it's gonna make any money yet, but who knows? Who knows? You see? That could have been a good order placement there. I didn't do it because it was too quick. The market's too quick for me. But as soon as I saw this candlestick didn't close below this line, I should have taken a long position and it would have been a sweet, no hassle, take profit order. But now we have to wait for the next setup. And that's the problem with scalping. It's everything so quick and things change abruptly on a minute-to-minute basis or even less. I figured out that for that, looking at even a lower time frame helps, like this 20-second time frame, where we can see clearer. This looks like the imbalance that we were talking about, not the 50%, but it could be made up of more candles because it's only 20 seconds. It takes 3 candles to make up one 1-minute candle. But on the 20-second, it's a little bit more clear that price has gotten a double bottom, and this might be the place where we trade higher from to at least break some of the structures that are higher over there, higher above this price. Back to the 1 minute. And on my monitor, I'll be checking out the 3-minute. Yeah, again, that turned out to be a really good spot. It gave us another entry here. We didn't take it. But at least we're kind of in the what's going on, right? We're in the what's going on part of of the market. We at least have a sense of knowing where we are. But price has not yet left this range. So we might trade lower here. Too early to tell. Might give us another entry. But a lot of times when this is happening, that's when the breakthrough comes. So price trades lower, because a lot of traders are looking at this and thinking that's a good place to go up from. And of course, they get liquidated by the smart money, I guess. Because apparently, smart money congregates on the very lows and the very highs. And if we look at the 10-minute time frame, let's check it out. On the 10-minute time frame, we're definitely making lower lows, or we're at a very low point, because this is January 31st. This is February 1st over here, and price never did trade low into that area until it's not trading there yet, but it's definitely headed that way. So this is an area that I figured it was something to watch out for, and that's the area that gave us this big drop right in this line, which I thought was, I think it's because it's the 50% of this imbalance. Price never traded below it, creating kind of a wall of support. Then got broken. So this whole imbalance becomes a juicy area. And remember, this is the 10-minute chart. So since we're at the very bottom, that's where smart money concentrates, apparently. Yeah, we didn't tap into the area again, but we haven't left on the upside. So price is consolidating here. Let's see how long that lasts. Hopefully soon we'll get an entry and we'll be prepared to take it. 2,500 profit in 10 days. Very hard proposition, but we're up for the challenge. Gotta follow my rules. And then once I do the real evaluation, I have to follow Traday's rules. So this is basically a test run of rule following procedures. Is the music loud? Too loud? I don't think so, but hope not. At least maybe it's a little bit entertaining background music. Okay, here we are at that spot again. This time I think, okay, I don't know for sure, but I think we're breaking that structure this time. We're getting a rejection, but sometimes this could be fake rejection. Okay, let's place the trade. So we are going long on this trade. If we hit this line, we'll be on a winning trade. If we hit this, we're losing trade. That line is not a bad trade. Could have taken it a lower, maybe around here. That would have been great. Looks like we're gonna lose this trade at the moment. But yeah, and then that's you see the deal. You see how I lost that trade. He hasn't traded below this line for a while, this same line here, but I got taken out. And of course, once it takes me out, now it wants to trade higher. That's the problem with scalping. You don't have that much room. Not only you have to be right, but you have to be right and accurate on your order placement. And look at that. That would have been a good trade had I put my entry lower than I did. Okay, give me a second to record that trade. That was the first trade. We are now losing this evaluation already. And we got $5, looks like slippage maybe. Because we only took 5-point trade, that should have been $100. And instead, we got instead we are $5 more in drawdown. And look at that. It would have been a great trade. So it just took me out. It just took me out. But if I had increased my stop loss, then I risk more money. So you never know with these things what the right move is. Now here, we finally traded higher. We still have what we consider a high here to be broken. And this might be a good point of reversal. Actually, this, my trade, is a good point where price will trade higher. But yeah. Half of the imbalance. So this might be also a good entry for the upside. It was a good entry. We would have gotten our 5 points. As you can see, price tends to move in patterns, which I am now more acute at watching and dissecting. But one thing I'm not good at yet is the execution of trades, as you can see from this first trade here. We're going to maybe get a second tap. Although this candle could go lower just because we got a rejection from the resistance here. So yes, we are trading a little lower than this. But it might still be a little bit of liquidating orders here before trading higher. So now our target is here, right on my order placement. Stupid. It's so easy to lose trading. So easy to lose because price moves up and down so much that not only you have to be right of where price is headed at the moment, but you also have to have a really good stop loss position so that price hits your target profit before your stop loss. And I'm not really good at that, as you can see. I was a little too early on that placement of the trade, but I didn't want to miss it. And FOMO, it's not a good friend for traders. And as you can see, this is just taking a lot of people's money. this whole candle before doing whatever it's going to do, whether it's go up or down. So price tends to be unkind to the retail trader such as ourselves. That's why we're taking the evaluation and not trading real money yet, because it would be so easy for us to get cooked by the real life market. Whereas an evaluation, the risk is minimal and it's a great way to learn with the opportunity to fund your account using an evaluation, using a prop firm. And once we get really good at prop firms and taking profits from them, then we can start looking into live market trading with real money, our own account. This is not financial advice, however. This is a demo account, paper money. Education and entertainment purposes only. Mostly entertainment. I don't know if anyone's learning anything. I know I am. I'm learning how to get cooked by the market. But I'm getting cooked, but I used to get fried. So that's already an improvement. Yeah, that was a good place for us to take a trade up, and now we've broken that structure, or actually we run the high. We'll see if this candle closes above this line, and that will give us an indication that price wants to trade higher. Only 20 seconds left. It looks very promising that it will, in which case our next target would be this high over here, which is a very juicy point where price might trade low from. But again, this might be a reversal trend, but we are too early to decide that, since price hasn't really gone up out of this range here. This break here, it's definitely important because price was trading lower and lower from here, created this high near the 50% of this drop and this swing point, I guess. So then it made a very it made the lowest low that we've seen throughout the whole drop. This is the lowest low, and then actually broke some of the structures here. It broke a few structures. It broke this structure, this structure, this structure, this structure, this structure. I mean, depends how you look at it, but even this one, this one. So we might be heading up there again, all the way over here. Because this candle definitely, or this price action, is indicating that price wants to trade higher because of the breaks of these structures here. But of course, on the longer time frames, that could be a little deceiving on the lower time frames. So on the higher time frames, price might not look as reversal oriented as on the lower time frames. Tap, tap. So this would be the break of structure that really gives us a bullish indication. And at least for now, on the 5-minute time frame, this is the one that I was talking about on the 1-minute chart. It's either this one or this one. One of those highs is the one that maybe gets tested within our trading session. I hope everything is copaceting and the stream is going well. That maybe gets tested. Looks like it is. This is the high that hasn't been broken yet. I would argue that price would like to come back and into this area again. So we might look into a short to this area if we get a nice entry. But before we do that, we need to let it hang around here for a bit. There's a lot of volume here, I guess, in this area. And price usually wants to go to the high volume areas. Doesn't like to stay too long mitigating the imbalances. But this area here, I believe, is where price might reverse to before going higher, if that's what's going to happen. At least we have an area to explore, because it's 2 times already that price went right through that area. Actually, all the time it does that. It did so here with this big manipulation candles. Then it went dropped from here, higher here. So there's really not that much volume here, as much as higher and lower. We see a lot of consolidations, but not so much in this particular area. Here there was a little bit, and there was definitely some here. But as you can see, price doesn't really stay there for too long. It leaves from this area, trading higher and lower and consolidating. So this is our high now that we have to break. Price is getting rejected from there. This candle might be an indication of now reversing a little bit. We are $105 in drawdown. I have a feeling that this might be a nice reversal point to at least here. But we gotta look at what price is doing to get confirmations, because we're not trading what we think, we're trading what we see. So what we'll see if this candle breaks structure or not. It hasn't run the high yet, this high. It just tapped into it really nonchalantly. So now it's broken. This might be a big manipulation candle with a big wick, or it might just be a bullish wick, or sorry, bullish candle. It is a bullish candle. So we're looking to trade higher. Now this is a sign of a reversal, because we're at that edge near the high, and that's a lot of times where price reverses from. And look at my order here. Had I placed that order a little lower, That could have been a really good entry to take all these points, but denied. Why? Because we're scalping. If we were swing trading, our stop loss would have been all the way down here, maybe here, below this low. Take the entry here for a scalp up, for a swing move up. Would have taken some good points. And who knows, price may trade higher before coming back, if it does come back at all, or if it wants to trade higher at all. We never know exactly what's going to happen. So yeah, we got that rejection out of that area I talked about. So this is a tricky predicament for me. This is usually where I get cooked. I tend to think, oh, we're hitting this area, let's go up, cooked. Oh, we're hitting this area, let's go down, cooked. So that's why I'm hesitant. But I did mention this area was juicy. This area here. Okay, we took a buy order, a long position. We gotta hit this spot here. Might not have been the best trade, but that's what we're here for. We're here to trade and learn. And lose, I guess. Or not, maybe not. The only thing I don't like about this particular trade is that my target should have been more of in the 50% of this long candle, and it ended up being higher. Got taken out. That's another loss. So now we're 2 trades, 2 losses, 210 drawdown. And according to our rules, we have $250 maximum per day. So we only have one more trade that we can execute, and it has to be a smaller trade. Now, if I go over the 250, it's okay as long as it's within the trade that we have. So we have one last trade. We only have, and again, look, it went up again after my trade got taken out, but you know, this doesn't mean we would have won yet that specific position, but definitely hasn't traded any lower than my stop loss. And I guess I'm just getting liquidated like a newbie retail trader does. So this might end up being a very short stream if I can pull off the next trade, which will only be 3 points because we don't have that much balance to trade with. Look at that. You see that? You see how the market does to you? And that, again, that's the problem with scalping. But if we don't scalp, we risk too much. And since we are not sure of what we're doing, we lose a lot quicker. So we're trying to extend our preparation, evaluation, demonstration so that we don't lose the whole thing too quickly. The longer the preparation goes without being in the drawdown, which is 48,000, the better. The more our chances of passing the actual evaluation later on. So right now I think we're gonna go up after this candle gets mitigated here. So if we trade a little lower, I might take a long position again. But again, I only have 3 points of movement to mess with. So if we win that trade, we can stay longer. If not, the live stream will be over. And I kind of want to take a trade here because I think we're going up. But again, I'm trading what I think and I'm not seeing going up. The problem with trading what you see is that by the time you see what you want to do, it might be too late. But if you're new at trading, like I am, you know what that's like. You know what it's like to lose a lot. Unless you're the luckiest person to ever trade the markets and you're on a winning streak purely by luck. Okay, that's a 3-point bet that I just made. Might have been a bad entry, but I don't see price trading lower. We got 50% of this imbalance kind of mitigated. And there's definitely all this area to go up. So might be playing in our favor. We'll see. I don't particularly like my profit target because it would indicate that those wicks need to be ran or at least get tested. And because we don't have money to mess with, I'm going to shorten my stop loss. If I see that, oh my God. Price is messing with me today. Because I would, just from what's been happening, it's gonna take me and go, right? And yeah, no, not the best trade. I should have maybe gotten this range from here to here and then pick the lower part of the range before going up, like I did here and here, both losing trades, but at least the placement was pretty good considering what happened afterwards. But you know, the market's not a kind entity. Giggity. Okay. Our price is moving towards our profit. But looks like this high here, it's our ceiling at the moment. Rejection again. And are we out? Yes, looks like we're gonna be out. Boom. Wait, why is it 140? I made a huge mistake here. I made a huge mistake. That's why that position was so big. I had the 3-point bracket order and misjudged the ticks. This should be 12 ticks for a 3-point move. So now I broke my rule. No wonder I never got my profit, because my profit would have been like right here. Maybe I wouldn't have gotten it anyways, but at least I wouldn't have lost so much. So again, that's what happens when you're a newbie. Stupid mistakes like that. So let's just check out. Yeah, this one is 5 points. 3 points is now good at 12. It should have been 12. It was at 28. And so we lost a lot more than we should have. So we broke our rule. Oh, that's what it was. At 7 point is at 12 and the 3 point was at 28. Jesus. And of course, we're so invested in the trade that we don't really see the size of it being too big. 10 points, yeah, that's good. 40. Oh well, you know, that's what we're doing this to learn. Now I'm in a really bad predicament for tomorrow's trading, but not completely bad for these two trades. I mean, this one and this one both should have been mine. Price just took my order and left, took my order and left. And so, you know, being unlucky is part of it. But in any case, this is it for today. I will catch you guys on the next one. Take care.